Good morning. I just wanted to give you an update on last night's council meeting. On the homelessness front, we all agree that it's a crisis happening in our shire at the moment. We unanimously decided to write to the state government and ask them to please continue funding Safe Haven. At the moment, it's due to close on the 30th of June. On the affordable housing front, we've got really exciting news for Greenhills. Greenhills Lodge used to be used for aged care. It's a council-owned facility and it's been sitting vacant since the floods because of a landslip that meant that we couldn't use it. And so last night we agreed that we'd go out to the community with a proposal to allow social and community housing to be provided on that site in a partnership with Anglicare and Social Futures. And so if we allow that to happen, hopefully we can get community housing delivered on that site in the shortest possible time. So we've had 2 applications, one for a cabaret and one for a circus at Jack Evans Boat Harbour. We voted together to allow them to progress to a licence to be able to deliver that entertainment, because we all know we all need a good night out. We decided to implement the single-use plastics and materials packaging policy, and I guess I'd like to say it's an area where we've really listened to the community. So we went out to exhibition with this policy, and we heard from market operators and event operators particularly that they would find it very hard to get rid of single-use coffee cups and things like that at large events in our shire. So because of our concern about how difficult it might be, but we know that our community really supports this transition away from single-use packaging, then we decided that we'll walk the talk first. And so we'll start with council. We'll spend the next 12 months making sure that our operations, our staff and our events are not using single-use packaging, and we're transitioning away from that. And then in 18 months' time, we'll review that policy and see if we can broaden it out to the whole community. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make sure that we're using as little plastic as possible. Another really exciting thing last night was taking that next step forward on our water supply. So we all know that the upgrade of our dam is one of our biggest projects that we've got on the books at the moment. And last night we decided to turn it into operational land so that that dam upgrade can proceed. And also we took another step forward on our flood works. So you will know that we went out to the exhibition to talk to the community about the Tweed South flood levy and drainage study, and last night we decided to adopt that. But the biggest thing that we talked about last night and voted to put out on exhibition was our draft delivery program and budget. So that's when council comes out to the community and says, this is what we want to do for the next 12 months for you, and this is how much it's going to cost, this is how we're going to allocate our resources. So it's really important that the community has a bit of a look, and you know, you can do a search of what's happening in your area and see if you agree with what we're planning on doing. The important thing to remember this year though is because of the fuel crisis that we're all having to deal with, then this draft budget and delivery program is aspirational. So as each of you know, things are beginning to cost more because of the fuel crisis, and we are going to try to deliver all of the things that we've said we would, but the most important thing to us is to make sure that we do not have a special rate variation. And the other thing, of course, we're doing is we resolved last night to get a report on how to transition council's fleet of vehicles to electric vehicles. And I know that's a cost-saving measure as well, because obviously the fuel is impacting on everyone and everything, and council is no different. So we're a business that needs to make sure that we can get the best value for money, and it looks like transitioning to EVs is going to be the way to go.